I love when video games look pretty. BioShock Infinite is one of the prettiest games ever made, and I still love it to my core. However, there is a difference between a game being pretty gorgeous versus realistic. Crisis games are realistic and gorgeous, but that doesn't apply to all games. Halo Combat Evolved was never realistic, but I absolutely loved the feeling when we first landed on the beach. That combined with the Halo battle theme was so peak. Somewhere along the way, gaming lost that feeling. Now, majority of modern games are Unreal Engine slop. They will throw nanite and lumen at you, load ultra-high textures that provide no value, all this for a garbage performance and yet boring visuals. When you first buy the game and play, you feel good, but you get bored after 10 minutes. Take a look at the Bodycam style shooters flooding the internet lately. On video, they look wild. The lighting looks like news footage. The camera bounces, just like a real GoPro clipped to a cop's vest. It tricks your brain right away. Then you actually put your hands on the mouse or controller. Suddenly, aiming does not feel like you are a trained operative. It feels like your character had 5 drinks before walking through the door. Your gun sways around on its own time. You try to snap onto a target, but the crosshair, if even present, drifts slowly behind your hand. It is sluggish, heavy, and awkward. Instead of feeling powerful or skilled, you feel frustrated. You are not fighting the enemies on screen. You are fighting the basic controls of the game. Then there is the physical toll on your body. Real life does not come with fisheye lens distortion. Your eyes do not have black borders around the edges or weird color fringing. Your brain naturally stabilizes your view when you walk down the street. These games slap all those camera flaws directly onto your monitor. The screen shakes violently with every footstep. The lighting blows out completely whenever you step into the sun. Within 10 to 20 minutes, your head starts pounding, your eyes hurt from trying to track the wild bobbing. For a lot of people, the intense motion sickness forces them to turn the game off entirely. A game should challenge your mind, your reflexes, or your patience. It should never make you physically sick just to prove a point about graphics. Then you run into the performance nightmare. To make a game look real down to the last pebble, developers push graphics cards to their absolute limit. You boot up the game and immediately get hit with frame drops. You turn a corner, a firefight starts, and the game stutters. To fix it, you turn on upscaling settings. Now the game runs better, but everything looks blurry and smeared. The crisp realism you paid for turns into a muddy mess anyway. You spend more time tweaking the settings menu than actually playing the game. And for what? The visual clarity during actual gameplay is totally gone. In the real world, combat zones are messy, dusty, and full of clutter. That is how reality works. When you put that exact messy reality into a video game, you destroy readability. An enemy standing 5 feet in front of you blends right into the grey rubble behind him. Shadows are so pitch black that you cannot see who is shooting you. Instead of reading the room and making quick tactical choices, you are just leaning forward and squinting at dark pixels. You die to things you literally could not see. That is not tough tactical gameplay, that is just bad visual design hiding behind a realistic filter. This brings us to the biggest heartbreak in modern gaming. Games are so obsessed with realism that they forget how to be fun. Think back to older tactical shooters like SWAT 4. If you load up SWAT 4 today, the graphics are obviously dated, the character models are blocky, the textures are basic, the lighting is simple. Yet the second you step up to a door with your squad, your heart starts beating fast. The movement is crisp and direct. When you move your mouse, your officer aims instantly. The rooms are clean and readable. You can spot an armed suspect in the corner of a room in half a second. You make your move, you clear the room, and it feels incredible. The graphics in SWAT 4 did not get in your way. They gave you clear information so you could have fun playing the game. The same goes for Rainbow Six 3. Raven Shield by today's standards, Raven Shield looks almost like a cartoon, but the gameplay loop is timeless. You plan your route, you set your go codes, and you execute the plan. You never have to fight a wobbly camera or suffer through a headache to finish a mission. Those games had a soul because the developers focused on what matters, the player's hands on the controller. Now look at what happened with the launch of Unreal Engine 5. Suddenly, the tools to make hyper-realistic scenes became available to everyone. You do not even need a full art team anymore. You can just buy photorealistic scan packs from an online marketplace. You buy a pack of realistic broken brick walls, a pack of tactical gear, drop in dynamic sunlight, and you have a map that looks like real life in a single afternoon. Because of this, digital stores are overflowing with empty, soulless games. They post a 5-second clip on social media and people go crazy over the graphics. But when you buy the game, there is nothing there. The enemy artificial intelligence is broken. The guns sound weak and feel bad to shoot. The levels are just empty corridors filled with marketplace trash. It is all surface with zero depth. It is like buying a shiny sports car only to find out there is no engine under the hood. Now compare that hollow feeling to a game like BioShock Infinite. BioShock Infinite came out over a decade ago. It did not try to look like a gritty dashcam recording. Instead, the developers gave it a gorgeous, stylized look that felt like a living, breathing, animated world. The floating city of Columbia is packed with rich blues, warm golds, and bright sunshine. The character models have expressive faces and bold shapes because of that artistic vision. BioShock Infinite still looks stunning today. It did not age poorly because it was never trying to mimic raw footage in the first place. More importantly, the game felt amazing to play. You could zip across skylines, throw fire from your hands, and shoot enemies without the screen shaking like an earthquake. You always knew where the danger was coming from. The art team worked with the gameplay team to make sure your eyes never got tired. That is what great game design looks like. Video games are supposed to be an escape. They are an interactive art form where we get to do things we cannot do in real life. Real life is clumsy. Real life is full of eye fatigue, slow movement, and visual mess. We do not play games to experience physical awkwardness. We play them because we want responsive controls, clear worlds, and great gameplay loops that respect our time. Realism is not evil, but treating it like the main goal of gaming is a massive mistake. A hyper-realistic game with bad controls will be forgotten the moment a prettier engine comes out next year. A stylized game with crisp controls and a unique art style will stay in our hearts for the rest of our lives. It is time for developers to put down the camera filters, step away from the marketplace asset packs, and remember the simple joy of making games that are just plain fun to play.